Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Mentor Asia Pacific. Here we are at Health City.
Yes.
This is a solid spot if you guys need any of your supplements or anything like that. Today we're interviewing a great mentor. His story is gonna astound you for the most part. And here we have Anthony Salas, also known as BigTone. Thanks for being on the show, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Right on, right on. So we're gonna kind of jump right in and share one thing that most people might not know about you.
Man, so one thing that people do not know about me is when I was 13, I was diagnosed with ADHD.
Okay.
And growing up, it was a struggle having it just because I was always getting in trouble. I was like, teachers and stuff like that would always call my parents and be like, hey, you need to put your kid on medication, stuff like that. And having that, like knowing that your teacher, does or like talks to your parents about you because you're being naughty, was like, that's one thing that a lot of people didn't know, is that I still have ADHD, but I'm still getting through life, even with it. So that's one thing that nobody pretty much knows about me.
Hey, ADHD, that's a kind of hot topic at the moment, and especially me being a teacher, I remember having some kids with it, and for me it was never really a problem.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to like counter it or actually deal with, for me it was just extra energy.
Yeah.
And that was fine with me. So man, you just got sponsored recently by SBD
Yes.
Guam, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
So let's talk about your story. So from 13 years old, ADHD, teachers viewing you as a bad kid and whatnot.
Always.
But I'm pretty sure your parents battled them for that.
Yes.
And where you are now to your sponsorship, what's your story, man?
So like when I was a kid, it would always be like, ADHD, refused to take medicine because like I've had a classmate that take it was like zombie mode, and I was like, nah, like let me use my energy in the right thing, whatever. So I was a skater, so I would skate, stuff like that, and it went into like working on cars. So when I was 18 to like 19, 20, I would always work on cars. Then I got introduced to drugs, man. It was like the roughest time of my life. I went from struggling from like 20, I believe it was like 20 years old to 23 years old. I was struggling with drug addiction. And now from 24 to 28, I'm a world champion. So I've had a really long road to where I am today, but I'm pretty much blessed of where I am.
All right, so let's expand on your journey right now to is it world record?
Yeah, world record.
Okay, so let's talk about that journey on the positive side. How did you get there? What kind of turned you around?
Dude, so I qualified. I did a meet in Hawaii, and last year I qualified to compete in nationals. But I felt that if I went, I would have just pretty much embarrassed myself because I didn't feel strong enough. And I only went up against 3 people in my first meet. I took second, and I was like, nah, I don't think I'm ready. Some people would have been like, nah, I qualified. Let's go. Let's represent. But me, I felt like if I'm gonna do this for the long haul, I need to take my time and do it again. So I did it one more year, which was 2018 April, and I qualified for Worlds. So it was actually, I did better. So I had a 8-month training time to get myself ready. So when I did it, we didn't know we were gonna break records. We didn't think we were gonna take gold. It was more of like, let's go, let's represent Guam. And we went and we did it. We ended up winning the gold medal and breaking the bench press world record. So it was pretty crazy.
Okay, so let's backtrack a little. Let's describe the sport that you're in and what it's all about. So you're in what sport right now?
Powerlifting.
Powerlifting, and for the viewers out there that don't know what that looks like, what that is, what it is.
So powerlifting is it's based on 3 fundamental movements. It's the squat, the bench, and the deadlift. Yeah, so that's pretty much what SBD stands for as well. It's a fun sport. A lot of people say, yeah, people powerlift because they don't like to do cardio, whatever, they like to eat. But I'm telling you, you try and do 9 lifts in one day, 9 heavy lifts in one day, it's one of the hardest times, man.
I know, right? So powerlifting, man, I think it's in the name for the most part that, you gotta exert a lot of energy to get a lot of weight up there. Okay, so in your sport, I guess we're gonna backtrack slowly again.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about some of your struggles.
Yeah.
When you talked about your drug addiction and everything like that, was that the hardest thing for you to get out of?
Yeah, man. Like honestly, like I lost my family. I had 4 pairs of like t-shirts, I had 3 pairs of jeans, 1 shoe, and I was working at a school at the time, so Imagine going to school and the students noticing that you're wearing the same clothes every week for the whole year. You know what I mean? It's like, it was one of the hardest times. And then I have a photo, it's on my iPad, man. I'm trying to get it out, but I have this photo. It was like me at my lowest. I was like 189 to like 200. I was so small. And in the background, you'll see my closet. There's one t-shirt hanging. And at that time, I was so out of it. I thought to myself like, oh dude, I'm living the life. I'm skinny. Because I struggle with weight, you know? And so that's one of the reasons why too, I was addicted, because I felt that being skinny would make me like be accepted or whatever. It's hard to really explain it, but I thought to myself that I was at my highest at that point. But when I look back at it now, I was pretty much on my lowest, man. I had graffiti writing on the wall. It was one of the hardest things to get out of, but you know, it took me, I'm still struggling with addiction today, you know? I use the gym now as my new addiction, especially having ADD. You know, having ADD, you kind of like go into one thing, jump out, go into one thing. But this is the longest thing I've been addicted to, but it's a positive. So coming out of that drug to where going into the gym was, it was pretty hard to do, but I'm happy I did it.
So how did you swap addictions for the most part? What was the thing that really ignited your passion for the gym?
I'm not gonna lie to you, social media, bro. A lot of people say social media is like bad, you know. It's probably bad if you're using it the wrong way, but I was sleeping, dude. Literally, I woke up, EIF was happening, and I saw these people post pictures, and they were buff, bro. And I went to school with them. So imagine seeing dudes that were skinny, and then seeing them on social media, and you haven't seen them in like 3-4 years, and they all have like six pack. You know, you're just like, bro, like this is like, I could do this, you know. So social media kind of jump started me into the gym, and I didn't go yet. I was kind of ashamed to go to the gym because there was like 320 at the time. So I just went outside my house and started exercising for like 2 months, and yeah, so social media, man.
Social media, hey, it could be a positive for most people. You know, the way that the media is kind of portraying it, it might be a bad thing. But if you use it in a positive light, it could be good. So it sounds like a little bit of social media was a little bit of a mentor for you. But you know, I'm gonna suppose there were some inspirations that help you get out, and also some mentors that push you a long way for powerlifting. You want to name some of those?
So when I first started, I wasn't into powerlifting. I was into bodybuilding, and I went in. You know, it was like the big names back then. It was like Dan Munoz. You know, like you would see like Gregory Monk. You see these were like the local bodybuilder celebrities, and I would see these two, and honestly, they looked superhuman to me because I didn't know what a bodybuilder was supposed to look like, you know, just on the internet or whatever. So I see these guys on the internet, and I was like, man, one day I'm gonna look like these guys and be on the bodybuilding stage. So those two are pretty much the people that inspired me to get into the gym. But as of powerlifting, it was more like the internet. You know, I was watching people, Strength Cartel, you know, it's just YouTube pretty much inspired me to start getting into powerlifting, you know,
Hey man, YouTube, what are we doing right now? We're YouTubing. Okay, so those are your mentors, big ones. I kind of want to go back to your sponsorship with SBD. How did that go about, and what's kind of on the table for them right now?
So SBD is an international brand, and the way we got it was Health City, the store that we're in. They brought the brand to Guam, and SBD wanted athletes to represent them out of our island. So I was lucky enough to be picked as one of the SBD athletes. And what's on for the table is, you know, Vegas. We're gonna go back to Vegas in July, and if we qualify, or I qualify for Worlds, but Worlds is in Ireland this year. So if we do good enough in Vegas, they're gonna give us a stipend to compete at Worlds in Ireland.
That's big things, bro. There's a lot of big things happening. Okay, so we're for the youth. We're looking at some advice right now, man. If there's somebody that's in the gym right now or thinking about going to the gym, you know, these young kids are thinking about starting, what would you say to them about getting their start?
Man, honestly, I know a lot of times when you go into the gym as a young kid, you see people like myself, you see people like Troy, you know, you see people like, you know, Dan Munoz, and you get intimidated because we're moving weight or we look big, or, you know, honestly, we're just focusing on ourselves, just like you should be. So just continue to go, even if you feel that you're intimidated or they're judging you. I promise you they're not judging you. We're all in there to just better ourselves. So if you want to get into the gym, I'd say just do it. You know, come in and don't expect your gains or your progress to happen overnight. It takes a long time. I've been on this journey for 5 years, and last year, my 4th year, is only when stuff started to happen for me. So just take your time and, you know, to continue to go. Consistency is key. That's my main thing. Consistency is key.
Man, that's true for anything, man. Consistency is key. Any of your passions that you have, stay consistent.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the metrics that you have. They'll eventually show up. Okay, so this is a big thing. We talked about what you might be doing for SBD.
Yeah.
Let's project a little further, man. This is a fun one. 10 years, 2029.
Yeah.
What are you doing, brother?
2029, man. I always told myself, I don't know if I'll be a coach, but to grow up this sport, I mean, like to blow up this sport in this past like 2-3 years that I've been doing it, I honestly see us having competitions here, you know, bringing some real like powerlifting gear here, having the young people, the older people compete in powerlifting on this island. So I feel that we're actually gonna have a competition here on our island where we're gonna bring people from the States, you know, outer islands to compete in 2020. I feel that we're gonna blow it up so big that Guam's gonna be a part of the USPA, you know?
Right on.
Yeah.
Man. We're looking forward to that. We might sponsor one of those events.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're gonna thank Anthony for being on the show today. That's been another episode from Mentor Asia Pacific. Stay tuned for the next one, guys.
Thanks, you.
Brother. Thanks guys for tuning into Mentor Asia Pacific. Once again, I'm out in Tonga. Check out all our social media. That's going to be linked down below. Stay tuned. More mentors are to come. We're going to be releasing a mentor every week. And please leave a comment down below for any mentors that you'd like to be featured on the channel. Any business professional, entrepreneur, or anybody that you believe is inspiring and can provide to be a mentor for the youth of Guam. Until next time, thank you very much. Sangha out.